Our first guest stars on the popular HBO series Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. It airs Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Here he is, the very funny John Oliver. Good to have you on the program. That's right. John Oliver.
Okay. It's me.
Now,
Good night.
do me a favor.
Yeah. Anything.
Thank you, by the way, thank you for being here. Do me a favor, and if you can, in bullet points, explain to us your career here in the United States. You started in London? Is that
I started in England. I
take
failed.
us right through the
I
story.
failed unremittingly for 10 years.
You failed at what?
Failed at, success.
Ah.
No. I was trying to get a professional career as a comedian, and I just about got one in that I could maintain a very low level of lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of failed upwards to America. So it's the dream. It's the dream of every immigrant.
Doing stand-up comedy?
Yeah, I was doing comedy. I was doing stand-up there.
I see. And then you came to the United States. What brought you here?
The Daily Show. Jon Stewart brought me here.
How did they know about you?
I'm not entirely sure. It's one of those questions you never want to really ask because...
Might have been a mix-up.
It's always your classic imposter syndrome going, if I put too much of a magnifying glass on this thing, they're going to realise there's been a huge error. So, yeah, I don't really know what happened, but I came here and I've not really left.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Done very well, and now have your own very successful show on HBO. And look at this.
Uh-oh.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
How
right
about
there
that?
On the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
On the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Congratulations
Thanks.
on that, buddy.
It's amazing for me, and it's a sad day for Rolling Stone.
No.
I feel sorry for Jimi Hendrix in this because he must be looking back and going, oh, I guess I'll be less excited about the memory of when that happened now.
No, you're right there. Part of American culture chronicled in the Rolling Stone.
I know.
Nice job.
I know. And I like having my photo taken, as you can see.
Are you... How many shows do you do a year? It's on once a week.
It's once a week.
Once a week.
And I think we're doing like 25 shows this year. And that must make you raging mad, a number that low.
No, but do you find that a weekly show, do you have free time? Do you do stuff?
No, I do nothing.
You do
other
nothing?
work. No, I've taken the opportunity to basically put all my efforts into this one show. So I'm driving myself slightly crazy with it at the moment, but it's been an amazing fun and a huge privilege, and I'm not fired yet. And every day that is the case is a huge victory as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, you do a great job, and people are very fond of you and the show.
Oh, thanks.
Now, this is typically the time in your visit when I inquire about your wife, who makes all of us look like ninnies.
Yeah, ninnies is literally the nicest possible way you could say it.
Yeah.
She was in the army, in the U.S. Army, in 1st Cav, so I wear this for her whenever I come here. And she was a combat medic in Iraq, and so she is, yeah. She's awesome. And, yeah, she has married down in an almost Benz-inducing manner. I was half expecting a nosebleed during, as we were exchanging vows, just, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I've never met the woman. I would like to meet the woman because I have nothing but the highest regard for her and others
All of them.
like her.
All of them.
And here is a woman who dropped into combat zones and takes care of the wounded, nearly lethally, mortally wounded men and women who are serving our country.
Incredible.
You and I put on makeup and have a little TV show.
We do.
That's what we do.
We do. And we call that still, huh? Hardest job in the world, huh? Hardest job in the world.
Exactly. Now, we were talking about baseball. You know, the World Series is just around the corner.
Yep.
And what you probably still like soccer, football.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Answer this question for me. In England alone, how many soccer teams of consequence are there?
Of consequence?
Yes.
Because every one is a soccer team. There are soccer teams everywhere. Of consequence, there's probably about 5 or 6 that could actually win something. The rest are trying their hardest, and we respect that.
Right. Now you have two separate leagues. You have people who get bumped out of the number one
No,
league?
we have 4 separate leagues. If you fail,
Oh.
you get... Because you want to... It's a classic British thing. You want to make failure really hurt. So you are relegated, and we've managed to get the class system in sport.
Yeah. So the highest class of achievement in soccer...
That's right.
...is what?
That is the Premier League.
The Premier League.
That's right. And then if
you want to stay in the Premier League.
You want to stay there.
How many teams?
In there, I think there's about 19 now.
19.
And then if you in the bottom, you are like Downton Abbey, you are relegated downstairs to the servants' quarters of sport.
Right. But the lesser teams can struggle their way up and make it to the Premier League?
That's the idea. Of course, we all know how that works.
And has it happened that the Premier League lineup changes year to year or not?
No, it doesn't change that much anymore because we don't have any wage cap in British sport. Exactly. So money talks and it shouts.
The bigger the team, the bigger the paycheck.
That's right. So Man United, Manchester City,
Manchester
Chelsea,
United,
all of those.
Yeah. So those guys are the Premier League. Now, who would be in the lesser league? What do we call the lesser league?
Well, we call them peasants, basically.
The peasant league.
We don't call them... No, it goes Premier League, Championship, First Division, Second Division, and then the conference. And the conference is basically amateur. So you're doing that just because you love the game.
So those guys in the conference are not eligible to work their way up?
They're eligible to do it.
It just doesn't happen?
Sure, but they might, like me, have physical restraints that prevent them from doing that. All I wanted was to be a professional football player. This is a distant plan B.
Yeah, plan B. Now let me... I appreciate your patience on this topic.
No, I'm fine. There's nothing I like talking about more.
So what does a team in the lesser Division 2, is that what you said it was?
Yeah.
Before the conference players.
Yeah.
What does that team have to do to replace a Premier League team?
Well, they might need an extremely rich, maybe oil baron to come in and help them. Otherwise, they'll need to improve their ground. There are many steps in the way.
Is it all determined on one loss? Is it percentage? Is it goals scored?
No, it's cumulative over the season. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and shame for a loss. And so that if you get the most points at the end of the season, then you can move up a class.
All right, and the points are equal for every level?
Yeah.
They're equivalent?
Yeah.
So we just keep track of all of these cumulative points?
That's right.
And if Manchester United scores lesser points than the, Downton Abbey team...
That's right.
They're replaced by Downton Abbey?
Then Downton Abbey would be eligible to come up, yeah, but that will never happen because Manchester United have Yankee money.
Right, but theoretically...
Yes.
Manchester United, with all of their money... what if the
Theoretically, if we lived in a world where life was fair,
yes,
and that there were consequences to sports failure, then yes, they could plummet. They could plummet into becoming an amateur team, but that's unlikely.
Has that ever happened to a Premier League? Yeah,
sure, it happened not in the Premier League. No, it's not. No, because you can't. There's too much money in it now. But it did happen in the 20s.
Yeah, but so what's the point now of getting your hopes up of working your way to the Premier League?
This is you are literally embodying why soccer will never take off in the United States. Because you can talk about it as long as you want. You eventually get to a point of an American going, but what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point in all of this?
Yes. But so it would be like in the United States if the Mets, who have become the second team over decades and decades and decades. They've become the second team in New York City. It's like they could work their way down to AAA. Like next year, the Mets will be playing.
They could do that.
AAA.
They could have to take part-time work as hot dog salesmen.
And then if things again don't go their way in AAA, they go down to AA.
That's right. You can keep.
And then finally they might be down to single A. And then instructional league.
That's right. And then playing against 6-year-olds.
Yeah. So this, I mean, things really are on the line, but you say money takes care of the whole mess.
Yeah, money takes care of everything. Capitalism will always work.
Okay, let's take a look at the clip.
Of what?
Huh? What?
A clip of what?
Oh, I'm
not
sorry.
in any...
We don't have a clip.
I've got nothing.
Don't worry about it.
I've got nothing.
Don't worry about it. I can see a clip of your wife. The show, John Oliver, last week, tonight. Look at there, buddy. Don't take it from me.
Show the clip.
Rolling Stone, everybody. We'll be right back with Maggie